What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Wednesday, July 29th, 2015. I'm Jeremy, talking about what you can do today to make tomorrow better. You know what you can do today to make your tomorrow better is quit projecting. Realize that everything you've taken in throughout your entire life has created the vision you have of the world, but not everybody has that vision. In fact, you're the only one with that vision. Everyone else sees it from a different prism. It might be a little bit the same here, but it's completely different everywhere else, vice versa. There can be little intricacies that change, little nuances. Just everyone sees the world from a different perspective. And things like today that I see, the lion hunter, the dude from Minnesota that went out and paid whatever it was, 150,000, 50,000, 500,000, whatever, to poach and kill a lion that was actually being monitored in Zimbabwe. Cecil the lion. I never got hunting anyway. I really didn't. I mean, we're all God's creatures. Humans are smarter. We got free will. We can imagine. We can create. But we're all living and breathing on the same earth, breathing the same oxygen. It's the circle of life. We all have a purpose. Animals know their purpose. It's ingrained in them. We have the ability to decide if we want to know what our purpose is, and we can change it if we want to. But to the point, because we have that freedom, we tend to project, and everything that has happened to us and that has caused us to see the world the way we do is forever instilled, and therefore every decision and every thought and every moment we're seeing things through our prism, even though they may be someone else's thoughts, someone else's words, someone else's life. We're seeing them through our lens. And for me growing up, it was always really tough because I never really got it. I never really got it until really the last couple years. And that's crazy. That's really crazy because I've had a decent life, but like early on, I always felt a little more sensitive than others. But it was because I've always, you can call it big heart, whatever, but I've always had to tend to empathize more and like have a sense of justice, right and wrong, whether that's right and wrong because it's always my sense of right and wrong, not someone else's. But the point is, I would usually tend to think of someone else's feelings first. And when someone else didn't do that, I would take that personally. Like, dude, how can you not think that? Like, how, I didn't get it. But as you get older, as you progress through life and your perspective broadens, especially when you travel, when you meet more people, when you do more things, you realize that not everyone's looking through that same prism. So while you may experience the same things, if you haven't experienced the same things up until that point, you're not going to interpret that moment when you may share with someone the same way. And so only now can I really relate and think about this hunter. He doesn't perceive things the way I do and the way a lot of people do, obviously. He doesn't value the life. I mean, you could say animals, but I would say of others, because you've heard me talk about, a sociopath and stuff like that. And it's not a term of like a serial killer. It's a terminology to describe a way a brain is made up. And people that lack empathy, people that don't feel emotions the same way others do. And that can be biological, it can be nurtured, it can be learned, a product of your environment growing up. It can be a combination of things, but regardless, that's what makes us all the compilation of things that we are. But in the case of this hunter, he doesn't see anything wrong with it. In his mind, it's perfectly okay. You know what? And I get that. I think he should be rung up and have a group of a herd of lions or something allowed to take their swipes at him. That's what I think, because I feel like it's inhuman. But you know what? Like, we're all created equally yet differently. So the sooner you can realize that, and the sooner you can realize that when someone doesn't think the same way as you and someone treats you in a way that you don't agree with, it's because they don't feel the same way you do. So the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can put things in perspective, the things that are happening every day in the world, like Cecil the Lion, like Bill Cosby, like the Iran nuclear thing, like all kinds of promises that you see that are made that are constantly broken by people that act one way here, but then act another way there. And then you can just fill in the blanks. You got to use your intuition. The more you experience life, the more you broaden that prism that you're looking through, the more you realize how different it is than everyone else's. And the more you realize that people's brains are made up differently. And that causes the issues that we have today because people aren't willing to accept that we're all made differently and we all see differently and we all think differently, and that's why we have these problems we have today. So bottom line, a tip, just quit projecting. Quit putting your thoughts, your emotions, your perspective onto those of other people, especially those that you don't agree with, because doing that is only going to lead to confusion. What you got to focus on is realize that their minds are strung differently and they don't think the same way you do. So you got to read up, learn, figure out how you can understand more and how you can move on from that perspective with that new gained knowledge that we're not all on the same platform. So first look up projection if you're not exactly sure what I'm talking about. And if you are, you probably don't think about it as much as you probably should, because everyone does it and most people aren't even cognizant of it. So try to quit projecting. The less you project, the more you can start to understand just where everyone else is, and as a result of that, realize why we are in the state we are as a people, as a country, as a world, as a whole. That's why it's circular, because it's just, you twist it a little bit, you turn it over a little bit, and there's no corners where you can be like, oh yeah, I know that's the corner. Now it's round. It just keeps going. It's infinite, the possibilities of where people are coming from. So you can never stop learning. So quit projecting, keep learning, stay alert, and stay in tune, be connected. That's it. Have a great Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. I'll see you tomorrow.